because we all argued, we all thought that Kobe should have won that that MVP that year. Does your team, does the rest of the players on your team, does it impact your chances of winning it? Should it? Meaning, like, if you have a great team, you really aren't going 100% all the time because you have other players that can do it with you, versus somebody on a bad team that has to go 120% to try to get his team there.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Bold Lion, and welcome back to the channel. So Gilbert Arenas came out on his podcast, well, his Gilbert Arenas show, and he talked about how he doesn't like how Steve Nash won an MVP being on a good Phoenix team where he didn't have to do much, compared to Kobe Bryant being on a bad Lakers team and winning them to the 7th seed. Let's get into it.
Okay. Since we were players, what is more? Because we all argued, we all thought that Kobe should have won that that MVP that year. Does your team, does the rest of the players on your team, does it impact your chances of winning it? Should it? Meaning, like, if you have a great team, you really aren't going 100% all the time because you have other players that can do it with you, versus somebody on a bad team that has to go 120% to try to get his team there, right? So we know Steve Nash's team, he don't have to go 100% every game because he got bunch of all-stars with him, right? Kobe had to do what he did to get to that 8th spot. Like, isn't that the real MVP? To get there versus someone who's only going about 80-70% most of the time?
Y'all have to say no.
Do y'all
have to say no? No, I mean, I'm gonna have to say no, because without Steve Nash, none of those guys are all-stars. So if you take Steve Nash away, it's
Stoudemire was an all-star.
No, I mean, no, he's an all-star. But I'm saying that team is not winning 54 games if you take it. So I don't think LeBron James, when he was in Miami, he was still going 120, and he had all-stars and Hall of Famers playing with him. So I can't really say that.
That's a good point by Brandon Jennings. Really good point.
Yeah,
but
I can't because LeBron, he's, you know what I'm saying, Dwayne Wade, when he won the championship with Miami with Shaq and all those guys, he was still going 120.
But think about it. Like, if your team is number one, right, outside of Cade,
mm-hmm.
If your team is number one, and we're talking about, like, when Curry and them, when they didn't play in the fourth quarter, those, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not playing in the fourth quarter and your team still pushing the lead up more, meaning you got a bunch of dogs with you, right?
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
And so that means you're not really, like, going balls to the wall majority of those games because the team is just that nice, versus someone he got to average a triple-double to keep up, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you know what I mean? It seems like a lot of years that MVP candidate didn't really have to do as much as someone else who he has to do everything to get to that 5th, 4th spot.
Yeah. I think he's overlooked. I think the guy that you're talking about is overlooked, right? From the year Kobe had to do what he had to do, I don't think it's appreciated as much. I think it's overlooked that without this guy, they would have been in 15, 16 place. You know what I'm saying?
And what's so funny is, and with him, they had him preseason ranked 15th.
So,
right? So it's like, they got him.
So it's that.
I mean, to be like, for people to think that the Lakers that year was going to be ranked 15th and for Kobe to will him to 7th, I could see why Gil's, sort of kind of like advocating for, well, it's too late now. The MVPs were already given, but to have the conversation on whether Kobe Bryant deserved it. But I'll give my thoughts towards the end.
This year, Shea last year, or the year before.
But Shea's still the same, though, right?
I'm talking about the year before that, when they had the team ranked like 10th and he had them number 1. It's like, well, that's your real MVP. Like, I always wondered that as a player, where it's like, man, this shit I gotta do, like, Like I literally have to go to sleep early every night to
Yeah,
keep
but isn't
up.
it
Yeah, but if you're dominant, like I think, like on that good team that we're speaking of, if you're dominant, right? Your team is good,
Mhm.
but you are dominant in your role.
Mhm.
Then yeah, I agree. Like LeBron James, his team, he had a couple of good teams, but he was dominant in his role, right? So yeah, I think he deserves it. But I think the other guy needs just as much appreciation and love. I think like it should definitely be in the top three for a guy that team wasn't expected to be there. They got 15, 20 more wins than they was expected to have, 20, 30 more wins than they were expected to have. They finished in the top four in the conference. Yeah, I think that guy deserves way more love and respect than he gets.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at like Jaylen Brown and Cade right now. It's like preseason rank and where you guys are now. That should hold more value.
I see Gil's point, but I don't agree with Kobe winning that MVP. Should I don't agree with his point that Kobe should have won that MVP over Steve Nash, and it's because of, I mean, just in my opinion, I feel like the MVP is rewarded for winning, right? And I pull up some of the stats. So the year Steve Nash won the MVP, right? Let me see if I can pull it up here. So when he won the MVP, he won the MVP in back-to-back years in the 04-05 season and the 05-06 season. And he led the Suns to the top of the Pacific Division, with the team finishing with the league's best record in 04-05 with a 62-20 record, which is insane, and a 54-28 record in the following season. He averaged 18 points, damn near 19 points, 10 assists. I think he led the league in assists that year, I believe, as well, right? Am I wrong? Maybe. 4 points of rebounds, and shot 50% from the field. Now, I can understand why, if people were to see like the numbers, right? Because I can let's pull up the comparison. So when the 05-06 MVP season year, Steve Nash averaged 18 points, 10 assists, 4 rebounds per game. Now, Kobe that year, the numbers are ridiculous. He averaged 35, 4, and 5. And I think he did will the Lakers to the playoffs. Yeah, they were the 7th seed. All right. So when you look at the numbers, you probably look at face value and say, nah, Kobe should have won that. But they were the 7th seed. And the Suns were the 2nd seed. Now I think the Spurs, right now, there was a couple of other people, and I was reading some comment sections who said that Tim Duncan or Tony Parker should have won the MVP that year because they were the number 1 seed in the West, being 63-19, and Tony Parker averaged basically the same amount of points as Steve Nash. I think Tim Duncan also averaged 18. So Tony Parker led the Spurs in points. He averaged 5 assists. Obviously, Steve Nash averaged about 5 more assists than him. But I think it was you can make it for an argument that maybe Tony Parker should have gotten it, right? But overall, I don't agree with Steve Nash. Not Steve Nash, but I don't agree with Gilbert's take. Although I do think I think it's a good conversation to have because we can move it forward. But I want to know your guys' thoughts on this topic in particular. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I appreciate the support, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.